so we can use the for statement in place of while. So which is preferable, like when to go for while and when to go for? We'll come to know that one with the explanation. So I'll discuss that with the PPT. So is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now, so we have already used while loop.
Yes,
To
sir.
repeat for certain number of times. Okay. So suppose if you want to execute a particular code for certain number of times again and again, so then we can use the while loop. Similarly, we can use even for loop also to repeat the code for again and again. If you want to execute the code again and again, so then we can use the for loop also. So then what's the difference between while loop and for loop, and when to use while and when to use for loop? Okay, so we'll discuss that one. So but before that, so first let us see some basics of for loop, and then we'll go with the discussion about when to use for loop and when to use while loop. Right, yes, for statement is basically to execute a block of code for certain number of times. Then how to decide here certain number of times, like if I want to execute for 10 times, or if I want to execute for 5 times or 100 times, so then how to decide that number of times to execute a block of code? So that can be done with the help of a function called as range function. In the for loop we are going to use one method called as range. Okay, so this allows us how many times to repeat the block of code. Are you getting my point? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I said a for loop is basically to execute a block of code for certain number of times. So but to decide how many times to execute a block of code, so that can be done with the help of a function called as, or method called as range function. Right, so that's why look at the syntax. So for the for loop, so for loop syntax includes, one is the for keyword, followed by we will be using a variable name. Any name we can use for the variable with the rules of the variable name. Okay, you can use any variable, followed by we have to use a keyword called as in keyword, and then we have to call the method called as range. Right, so I'll discuss about this one. Here I written with up to 3 integer arguments. Mean range can be called with a single argument, the range function can be called with 2 arguments, and range function can also be called with 3 arguments. What is the different forms of range function? I'll discuss with the examples. Okay, followed by a for statement should have a colon, as we did with the if statement or else statement or with the while loop. So we have to end this for statement with a colon. Then we have to write the block of code to be repeated. So an indented block of code we have to include in the for loop. So this is the syntax for loop. Right, now how to write the for loop? Look into this one now. Example, first example. Right, for is a keyword here. For is a keyword, followed by we have a variable name. Sorry, we have a variable name, that is x. X is a variable name here. Right, x is a variable name. Again we have one more keyword which is called as in. Right, and then we have a method called as range. So this range method defines how many times to repeat. So here the loop will run for 5 times. So as we are given 5 here, first argument is 5, so it specifies that the loop is to execute for 5 times. Right, then within this block of code we have one statement that is called as print of x. So then what it is going to do here is, just see here. So always when you use this range method, with some argument, then the variable always begins with the value 0. Variable always begins with a value 0, and then it goes up to 5, but not including 5. Right, so that means here, so we'll execute this code and we'll explain how actually this for loop works. Start the idle. Right, now type the for loop. So I will take a variable x and then keyword in, then you can see the difference in colors. The variables will be in a black color, right? And then the keywords are in orange color, right? So here we can see this for loop, for keyword and in keyword are in orange color, and this purple color range function method. So method will be in a purple color. Then print of x, right? So now if I execute this one, x value starts with 0 and then it returns for 5 times. So that means x value will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. At 5 it will stop the loop. Are you getting my point? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the starting value of x, sir? What is the starting value of x?
0.
Always it begins with a 0, and since we have written 5, so it goes up to 5 but not including 5, right? So that's 5. Run this now, you see this. So starts with 0 and then goes up to 5. That means not including 5. So that is why 5 iterations. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 5 iterations here. So at 5 it will stop the loop. Got it? Is this simple syntax or not? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In C, how you type
Yes,
this?
sir.
In the same code, how you type in C? How you type the same code in C?
False to 0.
Yes? Yeah. Just I'll show you with the notepad here. So look at here in C program, you'll type something like this, right? X equals to 0, then x less than 5, then x plus plus. This is how you write, right? Isn't it? Then you
Yes,
write
sir.
a printf statement
Yes, sir.
followed by
Yes, sir.
percentile d slash n, as we need to go to next line. So slash n, then x. So this is the code you write in C to do the same task, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. But in Python, we are using this syntax. That is for followed by a variable name, then a keyword in, and followed by the method called as range. That takes one argument or two argument or three argument. I'll tell you the difference later. So here one argument is there. That argument indicates or defines when to stop. Okay. So here 5 is the stopping condition. So that means x goes up to 5. Right. Then if you want to run for 20 times, so then what I should write here now? What should be the argument now? If I want to run for 20 times, what should be the argument? Hello? Hello all?
Yes, sir.
If I want to run for 20 times, then what should be the argument for range?
19.
20.
21.
Then colon,
20.
then colon,
20, sir.
print of x, right? Then press enter. So now it runs up to 20. That is 0 to 19. Is this simple syntax?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Alright. So now look at here. Look at here now. So similarly, you take another code. After that, I'll go with a change in what is the what are the differences you can see from C with the Python here. Right. Now tell me about what is the output from this one. What will be the output from this one? From this code, what will be the output? Yes. What is spam here? What is spam here? What is spam? Sorry?
0.
What is spam here? Sir? Variable or a keyword or method?
Variable.
Spam is a variable. Spam is a variable. Right? Spam is a variable. Right? And then, so the spam starts from 0 and goes up to 5. So that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then prints the line, that is hello world. Okay. That means hello world will be displayed for how many times, sir?
5 times.
5 times.
5.
Right?
5 times.
5 times hello world will be displayed, followed by
All. All.
right, all done. right? Spam in range of 5 colon, then print hello world, right? Then yeah, so just I will take this one. So 5 times we got the output hello world. I didn't take that next line. I am done. So here we got 5 times we got this hello world, right? Now what about this one? What is this code? We have a variable, another variable here, s equals to 0, then x ranges from 0 to 100, ranges from 0 to 100, and then we have a statement called as s equals to s plus x, and then prints the value of s. So what this code will do?
Sum of total numbers.
Sum of, yes. Is it similar to this one?
100
1
numbers.
plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus up to, yes,
110.
up to 100 equals to how much value? Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
sir.
we did in while loop also, right? This we did
Yes,
in
sir.
while loop also. While loop also I explained this example, right?
Yes, sir.
The same thing we are doing with the for loop, right? So to perform 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to a given number, that is 100, up to 100. So we can use this for loop. X ranges from 0 to 100. Since at 101 it will stop, so it will go from up to, it will go up till 100, right? And then at 101 it will stop and it will find the total sum, right? And that sum will be displayed by this last statement. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's look into this code.
Yes, sir.
Look into this code. I'll start with s equals to 0, right? I'll start with s equals to 0. Sorry, I think I typed it wrong. Okay, s equals to 0. Then for x in range of 101. Okay. Then s equals to s plus x, right? Then print yes. Okay. 5050. So and then if you print the value of x, it will be 100. Okay, 100. It went up to from 0 to 100. At 101 it has stopped. So that's why the last value of x will be 100. Did you get this one now? How for loop works?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now
Yes, sir.
I'll ask you some question with the C. You tell me, right? So here I written x equals to 0. Is it mandatory to start with 0 only?
No, sir.
Yes.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. So
No,
then I
sir.
can have any value right here. So I can, for example, I can have the value 2 here, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then if I write this code, right, what will happen? 2 less than 5 is true, it will execute, right? 3 less than 5, it will execute. Then 4 less than 5, it is true, it will execute. Then 5 less than 5 false, so it will come out of the loop. So that means if I start with x equals to 2, then it runs for 3 times here. As for this loop, it will run for 3 times. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then, but here what I said in the for loop, in the Python for loop, what I said here, the spam mean variable always begins with a value 0. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then
Yes, sir.
if I want a different starting value, mean other than 0, if I want a starting value as 1, if I want the starting value as 5, or if I want the starting value as 10, so then can't we use this for loop for that purpose? Python for loop. Are you getting my question now?
Yes, sir.
See, what one I
Yes,
told
sir.
here, one more I'll type here. You will see, you try to understand with the difference. Okay. So in C, so for example, here I can write 6, right? And here I will go up to 15. Okay, sorry. Just here the starting value is 6 and the end value is 15. So now it will go from 6 to 15. Correct? Right. So mean the starting value we can choose as we wish. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then how
Yes,
to do
sir.
that? How to
Yes,
do that
sir.
same? How to do that same in the Python? How to do that same in the Python? Because here in for loop, what I said, what I discussed with these examples, yeah. Look at here, in this example or in this example, I said the variable always will have the beginning value as 0, the starting value as 0. But if I want a different starting value for the variable, then how I should use, how I should write in Python. That's one. Second example, try to understand one more here. Here we have written x plus plus. Is it mandatory to write x plus plus only? Is it right? Is it mandatory to write x plus plus? Or I can write anything here.
Based on the condition, no, sir.
Based on the increment, step value to be increased, right? See, for example, instead of x plus plus, I may write x minus minus. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Means what I'll do here is just see, I'll write here 5, I'll write here condition as greater than 0, then I'll write x minus minus. Starting from 5, go up to 0 and then stop. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Start from 5, go till 0, then stop at 0. Right? So that's why I need a decrement. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Then it has to stop at 0. So that time I need a decrement. So right? I need a decrement. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Look, try to understand the examples first. In the first example, what I shown you, in the first two examples, what I shown you, I was using a different starting value for the variable. Right? Now in this example, what I am explaining is the mean step value may be increasing, or here in this example, what I am showing, the step value is decreasing. Getting the point? So since starting value is 5, x value is 5, so it has to go down till 0. It has to go down till 0. So that means it has to decrement. In every iteration, it has to decrement the value of x by 1. So that's why here I written x minus minus. So but what I said in for loop with the Python for loop. So here spam value starts with 0 and it goes up to 5. Since I written range of 5, so it will go up to 5. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mean it is incrementing. It is incrementing. But here in C, I am showing you it is decrementing. Then how to do that one? Mean how to decrement the value of x in Python for loop. The second question. Did you get first? Did you understand the questions what I am asking?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anuradha.
Yes, sir.
Amulya.
Yes, sir.
Jessica.
Yes, sir.
Mahalakshmi.
Yes, sir.
Manjula.
Yes, sir.
Preeti.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Rohan.
हाँ sir.
Right. Okay. For others, don't think that I called all the names. I'll call some for another examples. I'll ask others. Okay. Right. Now come to another question here. Okay. Now, even I can write here. See, for example, if I start with 0, then I'll write x equals to x plus 10. Here I can write even like this also, right? X equals to x plus 2. Will it work or not?
Yes, sir.
It will go from 2 to 10 at a step of 2. Correct?
Yes,
In
sir.
every iteration, x value will be incremented by 2. In every iteration, x value will be incremented by 2. So it goes from 2 to 10. That means 2, 4, 6, 8. At 10, it will stop. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That means, so this step value either just like incrementing x variable value by 1 or decrementing a variable value by 1 or incrementing a variable value by as user specifies. Right? Here like I given x plus 2, I may give x plus 3. So mean it has to increment by 3. Every time it has to increment the variable value by 3. Are you getting my point? So likewise, here I'll show you another example. So for example, I'll write x equals to x minus 5. Mean in every iteration, the value of x will be decremented by 5. So if initial value of x is, here I'll write if initial value of x is 60, then what it will do, starting from 60, it will go 55, then 50, then 45, like it will go on. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So so the loop can be written as user wants, right? So then how to do all these things in Python then, right? So for that purpose, so the Python for loop, okay, Python for loop, we use this range function. So this range can have multiple forms. So I think if you remember polymorphism mechanism, polymorphism in object oriented programming language. Do you remember polymorphism? Polymorphism.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is polymorphism? An object having multiple forms. A method having multiple forms. That is called as function overloading. Right? A same object having multiple forms. That serves a different purpose. Right? So all these things, what I shown you with the C code, no? So all these things can be done with a range method. Okay? How? Look into this example. Right? Look into this slide. So the range can have up to 3 arguments. It can have only 1 argument, it can have 2 arguments, it can have 3 arguments. I have given 3 examples here. The first example is specifying only 1 argument. Then second example is specifying 2 arguments, and in the third example I have used 3 arguments. So then what is the difference? What is the difference here? So this is one of the good example for polymorphism, that is function overloading. Same function with different number of arguments serves differently. Right? Now first one, as I already said you. So here when we have only 1 argument for the range method, then always the starting value will be 0 and the stopping value will be the given argument, that is 5. Right? That means it starts from 0 and it goes up to 5. Right? But look at it. When you have a range method with 2 arguments, then what is the first argument here? Try to understand here. What is the first argument? It is the start value. First argument is the start value. What is the second argument? What is the second argument? Stop value. That means what is the starting value and what is the stop value? It starts from 1 and it stops at 6. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 1 to 5 it will run, and at 6 it will stop the loop. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll show you the execution. Try to understand from that. Okay. Alright. Now for I'll take x in range of 1 comma 6, right? Then print of x, right? Now what will be the output, you tell me? I am printing the value of x. What will be the output from this for loop?
5 times 4.
What will be the output?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Now look at here. Starting value is 1 and it is the executing till 5, and at 6 it is stopping the loop. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you get this one now? For x in range of,
Yes, sir.
now you see here I'll write 6, 3 comma 10, 3 comma 10, then print of x. Then now what will be the output?
3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 5.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
3 to 9.
9.
9.
At 10 it will stop. The last second argument value is the stopping value, right? So it will go from 3 to 9. Did you get this one? Now you compare with the C. Which one is better? Whether in C, yes, in C you could have written this code something like this: x equals to 3, x less than 10, then x equals to x plus 1, or you could have written something like x plus plus. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but the same thing now you can do with the help of simple range method. Correct? Starting value, if you want the starting value other than 0, then go with the 2 arguments for the range function. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes,
If the starting value,
Yes, sir.
if you want the starting value as 0, then always use range function with only one argument. If you want the starting value other than 0, then better you go for the range function with two arguments. Right? Now, the third one. Try to understand from this one now. Right? So here again, so earlier code, finding the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to 100. Right? The same code now rewritten with the different 3 arguments here. Range with the 3 arguments. Now look at here. The first argument value is 1. Right? Second argument value is 101. That is, first argument says starting value of variable. Then second argument says the stopping value for the variable. That is stop. Then third argument indicates, right, step value. What is the step value? In each iteration, what is the value to be incremented? What is, how mean x value mean variable value is to be incremented by the step value. How much to increment in each iteration, how much to increment the variable. So that will be decided by the third argument. Right? Here I written 1. So that means it starts from 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. Then 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. It continues up to 100. Sorry, up to 101. Okay. So at 101, it will stop. Did you get this one now?
Yes, sir.
Now try to understand from this this code here. Right, I'll show you. X equals to 0. Then for x in range of, x in range of, right, 1 comma 101. Then increment in every step by 1. Then print s equals to s plus x. Right. Then print s value. So before also we had executed this code. Here you can see this code we have executed here. So we got 5050, and here also we did the same thing, and we got with a different number of arguments for range. So we got the same output. Did you get this one now?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
Try
sir.
to understand with the variations here. Now if I write this 2 here, now what will happen? You tell me. What will happen now? S equals to s plus x. Yeah.
Incremented by 2. Incremented by 2, sir.
Now it will increment by
Increment by 2, sir.
2. Okay. So mean what you need to understand from this one, right? Here I'll write the comment line. Okay. So look at here. Now it will start from 1. As the starting value is 1. Okay. Starting value is 1. It will start from 1. In every step it is incrementing by 2. So that means there what will be the next value? 3.
Yes, sir.
1 plus 2, 3. Then 3 plus 2, 5. Then 3 plus, then 7. Then 9. Then 11. So it goes on. It goes on up to 100. Sorry, not 100. 100 will not come here. Okay. Up to 99. Did you get this one now? Immediately after 99, it will go to 101 and it will stop, because 101 is the stopping value. Right? It will stop at 101. So that's why it will find out the sum of only odd numbers. Now can I say this as a sum of odd numbers from 1 to 100?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Exactly. Right.
Yes,
So
sir.
now if I print the s value, I will be getting sum of only odd numbers. That is 1 plus 3 plus 5 up to 99. So 7550. You just check out output is correct or wrong. You check out. Okay. Right. Did you understand now? This only you could have written in C. You could have written this in C as something like this: 1 less than 101, less than 101, and here you could have written x equals to x plus 2. Correct? Or
Yes, sir.
starting from 1 and
Yes,
go up
sir.
to 101 and increment by 2 every time. Right? So the same code we have written here like this. Are you able to understand? Are you understanding or not?
Yes, sir. Understanding, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Yes,
Fine. Now,
Yes,
now
sir.
I'll show you another way. Right. Now, starting from 5, I'll go up to this one and then increment by 5. Now, you tell me what will be the output from this one? Right. Just I'll show you, instead of finding sum, you can just I'll show you yes. Right. Sorry, x. Okay. Right. And now what will be the output? My starting value is 5. stopping value is 101 and in every step it has to increment by 5. Yes, what do you
5,
mean?
10,
to
15,
100.
20,
5, 10,
15,
20,
20 to
15,
15,
20,
20,
25,
25.
right, so on, right? Right. Now see here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 up to 100. Correct?
Yes,
Is
sir.
this simple? Is this simple? Is this simple? For loop? Using for loop is simple? Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. But now try to understand. So the range method can have one argument, two argument, or three argument. Right. So if you have only one argument, the default value of a variable will be always 0. The starting value of the variable will be always 0, and the argument will be the stopping value, right? But if you have two arguments, just I am summarizing, okay, if a range method is having two arguments, then the first argument value will be the start value and the second argument will be the stop value, right? If you have three arguments, the first argument value will indicate a start value of the variable and the second argument value will indicate the stop value of the variable, and then the third argument will indicate the increment step, okay, or how much value to be increased, right? You try to understand one more here, right? For x in range of suppose I'll start with 50, right, comma, right, 50 comma 0, then 0, then I'll write here minus 1. Yeah, now what is this one?
Decrements.
Yeah, it starts from 50 and goes up to 0, right? Stopping value is 0 and in every step it decrements the start initial value by minus 5, right? So now you get the output as 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, so on up to 0. At 0 it will stop. Did you get this one now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you see this, you could have written something like this, right? So here I have taken that code, right? X equals to 50, x greater than 0, x equals to x minus 5, correct? This one, this code, similar to this one. Now here we wrote this.
So, but in C, we can use that less than or equal to, so that if in, like, for example, in this example only, sir,
Yeah.
0 can be printed,
Yeah,
sir.
definitely that also you can do. Here you just break it as minus 1, that's it. In stopping value can be even in negative form also. I'll show you. So here minus 1. If you want 0 also to be printed, go with up to minus 1. Stopping value as minus 1. Right? Are you getting? Now look at here, even 0 has also come on the screen.
Yes, sir.
If you want, what is the stopping value?
Yes, sir.
What is the stopping value? Earlier I was using the stopping value as 0, so that's why 0 has not appeared on the output.
No, sir.
Right? Yes?
Less than or equal to we'll use no, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
In C.
Yes.
In the-
Same thing. I'll show you. Okay, with the example only I'll show you. So this you want, right? Say for example, you want to start from 1 and you want to go up to 101, right? Including 101, right? 101.
Yes, sir.
Right. See here, try to understand. X less than or equals to 101. 101 is very similar to this condition is very similar to x less than 102. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Less than or
Yes,
equals
sir.
to 101, that means you want to include that 101 in the loop, right? So but to stop that at 101, mean including 101, then you can write the condition as x less than 102. So what you can do in Python, see here, for x in range of, right, x in range of, just simple, I'll show you, 101. If I write at 101, so it will not include 101. Am I correct? It will not include 101. So it will stop at 100. But if you want to include x 101 also in the range, so then you can write 102. You can write 102 here, right? So then print of x. So now it will come as this 101, right? Go for the next value. So go for the next value, so that whatever the value, up to whatever the value you want, so that you can include in the range. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So mean this condition x less than x equals to 101 can be rewritten as x less than 102. So that's why you can go up to 102, so that 101 also will be included, right? So that is also very similar to less than or equals to condition only, right? Did you understand how to use while loop? For loop, right? Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes.
So it's already 3 minutes to 10 o'clock. Okay. Right. Now, so when you will prefer this for loop and when you will prefer that while loop? When to go for loop and when to go for while loop? Right. So here already you seen so many examples. Look at here into this example, particularly this example, right? Here we use while loop, while name not equals to MEJ. So can we check this kind of condition in for loop, Python for loop? Okay. Hello? This is very important. When to use while loop and when to use for loop, this you must understand, right? See, this is called as event control loop. This particular example is called as event control loop. Event control mean when user particularly types MEJ, then it has to stop. If user has not typed MEJ, if user has not typed MEJ, then it has to keep on looping. It has to keep on looping. But when user particularly types MEJ, then it has to stop the loop. This is called as event control loop, right? But what we are seeing here, so even in Python, this one, while loop with x less than or equals to 10, this one, okay, while spam less than 5, these examples are called as counter control loop. Counter control mean, yeah, so this indicates, these examples specifies specific number of times to be repeated, the loop to run for specific number of times, right? So these are called as counter controlled. Counter control mean counter value starts from some starting value and ends at some particular value. That is called as counter control loop. So they define specific number of times to be repeated. So but here this event control loop will specify when user particularly does some task, then it has to stop. Or when a user particularly does some task, then it has to repeat. That's called as event control loop, right? So but this for loop, basically this for loop in Python can be used only for the counter control loop. Counter control loop. You cannot do event control loop with a Python for loop. Are you getting my point? What I am explaining?
Yes, sir.
I mean, see here this one, x less than or equals to 101 or x greater than 0, these are called as a counter control loop. These are called as counter control loop conditions. That means they specify. So exactly I can specify a starting value is 50 and greater than 0 mean it runs for 50 times. I can define exactly, I can specify this loop will run for 50 times. But even in C programming language you could have written x not equals to suppose x not equals to 100,050, right? So this you could have written, this is called as event control loop. Or if x is an character, you could have written something like this, x not equals to a. If x is not equals to a, do repetition. If x is equals to a, stop. This is called as event control loop. So mean this kind of condition testing can't be done in Python for loop, because Python for loop is basically to run for a certain number of times. That's why in the first slide of for loop I clearly written this for loop is basically used to execute only for certain number of times. That means is to execute only counter control loop kind of examples, right? But while loop can be used for counter control loop as well as it can be used for event control loop. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'll show you some more examples are there here with this importing modules and examples. Here you will come to know exactly the difference between while loop and for loop. Even there also I'll explain I'll brief about those two. Right. Okay. So I think it's already 10 o'clock. Okay, I'll wind up the class of today's. So tomorrow, is it possible in the afternoon? Hello? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow I'll continue with the next class, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.